by Shannon Nicole, where culture meets context. The real is long, judged by Shannon Nicole, where culture meets context. The real is long, judged by Shannon Nicole, where culture meets.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Realist Lounge where culture meets context. I am your host, Shannon Nicole. Of course, we got my amazing co-host, Fu, as well as Mark, the Citizen. Show. Are you model citizen? Which one are you today, Mark? I can't hear you.
What's going on, everybody? Let's clear up the confusion.
You the model citizen today?
I have two pages. Okay, I got Mark the model and the model citizen. So the model citizen is like what I want to name my actual show once we get it started on YouTube.
Okay.
And Mark the model is just
like
who I am.
You're not that type of.
Oh, I'm on both.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and bring our guest up here. What's going on, Red? Welcome.
How y'all doing? Blessed to see all of y'all. What's
now,
up,
Red is our special guest to this evening. Can you introduce yourself to the people?
My name, I go by Red. I'm from Louisiana. I live in Houston. I currently live in Houston. I'm 42 years old, and I want to talk about life. Let's get it.
Well, that's what we are all about here on the Realist Lounge. We talk about life. We talk about real things that are going on in our community, like in our country, in our world. Like I said, this is not a black show. This is a show where people who care about their community, who care about humanity, who care about the well-being of everybody. This is where we congregate and we come and we just try to break things down like a pound. We know that everybody ain't gonna be agreeing on what we talking about, but at the end of the day, we're gonna talk about things that need to be talked about. We got a lot of distractions that's going on right now in the atmosphere, and a lot of these distractions are really taking us away from the core values of America, the core values that we really need to be focusing on. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but our liberties and our rights are being literally stripped from us little by little. So we have to be able to use this voice box that we have as much as we can right now, because we don't know what's up. You know, they just gave somebody the key to our White House that I'm not quite happy about, honestly. Did y'all see that? No, y'all didn't see who Trump gave a key to the White House?
Who? No, who?
He gave B2B a key to the White House.
Oh. Didn't he just call him fucking crazy?
Yeah.
He just said, he was like, you fucking crazy. And whatever. Whatever.
Political theater.
Here's my thing. I gotta just say this real quick before we hop into our fresh off the press. And what's good? Welcome to everybody. We're not on IG today. Shout out to everybody on Facebook that's tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube as well as Rumble. We are live on Rumble for the first time in a long time. But at the end of the day, this is my thing when it comes to this whole key exchange thing. I'm a little uncomfortable with this really weird relationship that we have with this country. I'm very uncomfortable, very conflicted as somebody who has been about America first. Because, lady, it ain't been feeling like it's about America first. And I feel like that a lot of these conversations, these lives, these media frenzies that we are seeing right now when it comes to these little court cases, I know you know what I'm talking about, Mark. I feel like that these are distractions. Something is going on, y'all. Something is going on. And I feel like that even though Trump came in with this big America first thing and we all ate that shit up, I feel like that somebody else was like, no, we need you to move your attention over here for right now. Am I the only one that feels like that?
Why do you feel like it's not America first anymore? What makes you think that?
Well, let's see. I don't think that they are. I don't think that they're doing. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that they're getting rid of illegal immigrants like they say they are. I know this for a fact. I live in a red state
Let me
and
say
stay
something.
in a blue
Can I
city.
piggyback off
Gotta
what
hold
you
up.
said just now?
Hold up.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold
Okay,
up.
wait. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead, Shannon.
I don't think that they're getting rid of illegal immigrants as fast as they're saying it. I don't. I don't think that they're doing it as much as they're saying it at all. Also, this war, I feel like, is what took the attention off of America first. I feel like that if you're not involved in AI technology or stocks in some type of way, you're probably going to be fucked, honestly. I don't think that America first was supposed to be for everybody to be able to know that what we have went through over the last 4 years, we're going to fix that. But I don't think Trump can, because we have these judges that's in position. We have a lot of people who we thought were with Trump that are no longer for Trump right now. I believe that it definitely comes from a local standpoint as well, not just automatically federal. But I do believe that certain things from federal should come down to state and local as well. And they're not doing that shit. We're
Right.
starting to see an influx in this regime that they keep talking about when it comes to the Muslims. They're still doing whatever, everything that they claimed that they weren't going to do. They still doing that shit. Then you constantly see when it comes to these apps, TikTok. We know that the sale of TikTok had been going on since last January. There were so many people that were in line to get this, to buy this app, that would have been better suited to buy this app. I would have rather TikTok went to Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast understood social media. I would have rather for TikTok to go to somebody in America who understood how social media benefits little people like ourselves. But instead, you sold it to someone who already owns everything. And they have created it and made it into a marketplace. You still can't talk about what the fuck you want to talk about on there, but you could go over to IG and say the shit that you used to never be able to say on IG. But you can say it over there now. Then gas prices is still up. The housing market ain't got no better. The job market ain't got no better. It's still bad. We still got, we don't know where Robert F. Kennedy is at. What happened to you with all of this shit you were supposed to do when it comes to our food? That shit is gone. They're continuously, little by little, rolling out the red carpet for the people who we know damn well are not building something that's going to serve humanity in any kind of way. These data centers, there's nothing we could do about that. It don't matter how much you protest about the shit. Ain't shit you could do about the data centers. But at the same time, are these data centers really going to bring jobs to American people? We all know that it's not. We know that it's not. So I don't think that, I think that it's America first when it comes to us, but it ain't America first when it comes to Congress. It ain't America first when it comes to these judges, because we still can't even get a simple SAVE Act to be passed. But y'all ain't had no problem with giving, with combining our military with Israel's. Why the fuck? We are the strongest military in the world. Why in the freak do we need to be combined with a whole nother military from a whole nother country? Nothing is making sense right now to me.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Am I like kind of going? This been on my mind for a little bit. I ain't been saying.
I can
shit.
tell.
It's been on my mind for a while. It's a race war. There's a race war that's happening right now.
After red goes,
Red. That's all I gotta say. It's been on my mind for a while, y'all.
Well, look, I was just about to go off of. We have to pay attention to what's going on. ICE been cut back, correct?
It feel like it.
Okay. ICE, all right. ICE not doing exactly what it was doing at one time. Meaning ICE was on the road, right?
No,
They're not on the road right now.
They still doing
They
the
ain't
same
doing
thing.
shit out here in Indiana.
Huh?
They're not
They
doing
the
shit
same
out here
thing.
in
It's just
Indiana.
not being brought. It's not being broadcast. But keep going.
So this is the deal with them. They was targeting one thing and one thing only. They was targeting. Y'all still there with me?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. They was targeting one thing only. Remind you when they were showing ICE, correct? Because I live in Houston, Texas, and where's my store is at a certain type of mall with only immigrants. They even got legal immigrants. They even got the where they can go sign up and get their green card and all this stuff at this mall. Okay? Was they running around with pictures and they was targeting certain people? They was only targeting the cartel. When they opened them, when Obama opened, no, that's not Obama. I take that back. I'm sorry. Biden. When Biden opened the borders, right? The cartels were sending their people in, and it was positioning everywhere. They getting all type of jobs, teachers. They were on the police force. They was everywhere. They was going around. ICE was going around with pictures and targeting certain people, even their kids, their families, and everything. They got who they needed to get, and then they unalived the big dog. All right? You know that's all work. You know that's America work. Turn around. They did not ICE so much, but ICE was sitting up there targeting the people and all the Iranians. Because they was protesting all in Houston. It was all outside of Houston. It was on every corner. They was getting who they needed to get out of here. And what they did, unalive they big dog. Everybody in, who was the other person in Brazil or something? They have I think the Brazil, somebody, I forgot. Venezuela. Okay? They even said that they had a certain type of weapon. It was only 20, y'all listen to this, 20 soldiers that wiped out. 20 soldiers wiped out hundreds and thousands of Venezuela army. They said it was bleeding from the nose, ears, vomiting, all that. But ICE, I remember ICE taking them. After they did that, ICE said no. ICE not doing their job like talking about no more. You feel me?
I think ICE is, honestly, I think ICE gets a bad rap. And I do think that they have toned down a little bit. But like what Fu was talking about earlier, I believe it's not being publicized right now because, like what Shannon was saying earlier, I think that there's something bigger on the horizon. I think that there is, they're planning something. And I don't know if it's going to be another scamdemic, if it's going to be aliens, an alien invasion or something along those lines. I know that sounds completely far-fetched or ridiculous, but when you look at all of the UFO bullshit that you continue to see, you look at the incident that happened back in Miami all of those years ago with those mysterious beings that were there. Like, you look at what the government official went on TMZ and said about what's going on down in Antarctica. Like I said, I definitely think something bigger is on the horizon and they're trying to keep us distracted.
The thing about it is what she was talking about, I get it, but everything she mentioned, it always was going on. It's just now we see it. The only thing is now more motherfuckers like, oh shit, I didn't know that they was down with the other small hats like that. I didn't know this, I didn't know that, because before it was all like hidden. We may have known, but the masses didn't know. Now they're starting to question shit. And the more people that know what's going on, the more distractions they need. The last thing that they want is everybody on the same page. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this. If we know that all of these things is going on, we know that the media lies to us, right? Mm-hmm. We know this on both sides. Mm-hmm. We know that they stir the pot a lot. We know that we have an issue when it comes to the food in our country, especially the food that's coming over here from other countries that should be checked and made sure that it's healthy to serve to our people. We know that we have an issue when it comes to our benefits, our government assistance being scammed by people. We know these things. However, Elon Musk is still not Elon Musk, but Ilhan Omar, her ass is still in this country. The other bitch, you know what I'm talking about, the one who pretty much talked about that these immigrants need reparations.
The Indian chick.
The Indian chick. She said something that should have been classified as treason about how she is working with, I think, either El Salvador or Venezuela against our country. Why is she still in Congress? That's another thing. Secondly, we know that we are having issues when it comes to our media. We know that we have issues when it comes to the news. We know that we have issues when it comes to what's going on right now on social media. Y'all didn't have no problem with making sure that people were not able to talk about C-19 when it was happening. So there's no reason why we should have so much racist shit that's going on online right now. There's no reason why certain pedophilia imagery is being put out there that people ain't really talking about. I see it on IG on a regular basis, the shit that they allow. All of these damn bots, which is a RUSSIAN thing, but y'all say that these people are a problem for us, but yet they've been able to infiltrate our news, our media, our way of life, the things that's going on social media. And how is it that nobody has done anything about it from the government level? Nobody's done anything about the fact that we have all of these recalls that continuously happen on our food. Do you know that they just found out that baby wipes was giving diseases to babies? Baby wipes.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with maxi pads.
Maxi pad. Right. This is some shit that we didn't even ask to get.
But see,
you're trying to poison the coochie too.
Damn, the thing about this is, whenever a lot of the stuff that's going on, you always have to factor in who's involved and what's involved. We all know the government is right here. It's these motherfuckers that's doing all of this shit. And when you start talking about these private companies, they're private companies for a reason, because they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, minus the restrictions or whatever, because they're the ones actually running the government. We know how that chart goes. It's six companies that pretty much control everything. You got like 3 media companies that control all that. It's the same shit. So right. the only thing that can be done is for us to be doing this shit and for us to control whatever we can do local. That's the only power we really have.
They have taken over local, bro. They have taken. Let me tell you. Listen, they've taken over local shit too. Huh?
It's not enough people involved. That's why that's my whole point.
The fact of the matter is this: it's going to take, honestly, and I hate to say this, God forgive me, the government gotta go. It has to go. Like, that's the only way that we'll be able to win, whether it's local or not. It's damn near gonna have to get to the point to where we kind of out there in the streets like them motherfuckers is overseas with Ivanka Trump buying their damn country. Do you see what's going on?
But who would have to go?
The entire government needs to go they need to throw them in the trash. They gotta go.
They got too much power.
They gotta go. And honestly, truth be told, it's probably gonna take God to wipe all of this shit off. So we're gonna have to press a reset and start all the way over. And I'm just speaking. I'm not speaking. I know this will never happen because, first of all, America is too comfortable. Ain't nobody going out in the streets and doing half the shit that I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'm just talking. That's the only way anything is gonna really ever be able to get to the point to where it's gonna be
because this is the deal with that situation, right? Which I believe. Me personally, my belief. Mm-hmm. Everybody entitled to their own opinion with this, but at the end of the day, I feel like all the underground cities, quote unquote, bunkers, which they got one in Kansas City, in Missouri. They got a big one under there. I believe that's not for us. I believe that's for them. I believe that's for them to go hiding. That one thing is for us.
We're in the middle of a modern day colonization of America, people. And I think within. That,
It's the enemy within that they let in.
They let them in. So with that being said, I truly feel as if, and I'm quite sure they're probably going to shadow ban this video because if I was Joe Rogan, this is another thing that's so messed up. If I was Joe Rogan, this shit would go. They don't want niggas talking about nothing other than nigga shit.
Nah,
but we
you
ain't
know,
niggas.
But do you
We
know?
just happen to be melanated people.
Once
And
again,
we can't have these type of conversations because if I was Joe Rogan talking about this shit, that's that real shit. But see, when you're black and you're talking about something, you're talking with sense. When you're not talking from a place of a nigga, it's the problem.
Right.
It's the real life problem. And I'm looking at this situation right now when it comes to what you was talking about, Mark, about the little case that's taking place with the Metcalf chick, the Metcalf kid, that situation.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is planned. It just looked planned. It feels very manipulated to create more division amongst
Manipulated
Americans.
by who though?
I believe it's manipulated by the same people that's possibly putting together these No King rallies. Honestly, I feel like the shit is all.
Whatever happened to that guy that unalive? What is Yoshi something? Whatever happened to that guy? We don't hear about him no more.
Ooh,
the Italian dude or something.
Oh, you talking about
We don't hear from him.
Luigi.
We don't hear about him at all no more, right?
Nah, we don't.
Okay. And we definitely don't know about the CK person.
Talking about Kurt?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, and then what I was saying, and I saw you, fool. The reason why I said I think that it's manipulated by the same people who do the No Kings and the whole, because these are the same people that control the media. The thing is when it comes to the media, I can't. I'm not even so involved in the situation because I don't like to emotionally attach myself to situations where I don't have the facts. And I feel like that we all do not have the facts. We don't. None of us have seen the video. We don't know what happened. We're only going based upon what we're seeing on social media or what the media is telling us. We're hearing two different stories when it comes to what happened on that football field. So it's causing, they've made it more racial and more political as opposed to what's right and what's wrong. If that boy did that and he didn't do it by defending himself, then whatever happens, happens. But it's going to be an ugly situation on either way. No matter how it turns out, it's going to be a violent situation that's going to take place. If the boy who actually did the stabbing, if he wins, you know what's going to happen out there. It's going to be like J6 in that bitch. Like, it's going to go crazy. If the boy who actually did the stabbing does not win, then you know black folks is gonna act a damn fool out there. So it's damn near like we're in this space right now where people are moving so much on emotion and not facts that it's becoming political and it's becoming racial, and that is creating a divide and taking our focus off of the things that we need to be focused on, which is what the hell is going on with making sure that America is first. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
That's why everything that you just said, we've talked about this shit ad hominem for years. They want the race war. That's all. That's their focus. They have to do that because that's the other big distraction. That's why now the Carmelo Anthony trial is popping up. Then you factor in the Asian thing that you talked about that's 2 fucking years old. They bring some shit that was 2 years old back up, and she said it in her video. Where the fuck was Al Sharpton? Where was DL Hughley? Where all the motherfuckers at? You know why they don't need to do that shit? Because you have people talking about it on fucking line. That's why, because they want to spark that shit where motherfuckers doing lives and going back and forth and all that shit. No. The bottom line is right is right, wrong is wrong. There's no getting around that shit. When I watch Mark doing his live or whatever, the kid was good in school, he was an athlete, and he had both parents. I want his shit. Ain't nothing to talk about. And you pulled out a knife? Where you learn how to use the knife at? Get the fuck out of here. Like, none of that shit makes no fucking sense.
It's not that hard to use a knife.
No, what I'm saying is, you can't, to me, the last thing you're gonna do in 2026 is label a motherfucker a young nigga and he use a knife. That's not even an option. Motherfuckers shooting. We know
we ain't using no knife. I mean, you better be using these than getting a knife.
That's why my whole thing is it all boils down to they doing whatever they can. It has to be a race war. It has to be. And they keep pushing this shit and they're putting everything in our face. You got that case. You got that case. You got what's going on with the data centers. You got these motherfuckers blatantly in your face stealing an election in California. They told you he was going to do this shit, and all of this shit is just culminating. And they want it to explode, but people ain't falling for it. That's the only solace that we have, is that people ain't falling for this shit. They not. Motherfuckers like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm straight. I got to go to work. It's too much shit going on for me to be worried about this shit. I actually have to go make my money and go to work.
All right, so I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I wanted to hear what everybody had to say real quick before I, said my piece. To be honest with you, as someone who's down here and has been down here for a while, even though I don't live in Frisco, I spend quite a bit of time in Frisco. So I'm well versed as to the lifestyle and the atmosphere that Frisco is. And when you look at the totality of what's happening in this situation, I feel like it's the culminating of multiple perfect storms happening all at once, right? You got the perfect storm happening of, it just so happens that you got a white kid and a black kid. And it just so happens where the perfect storm part comes in, it was the black kid who killed the white kid. If the white kid had killed the black kid, it would already be hook, line, and sinker. It is what it is.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, hold up. And what would be happening if it's a black kid on a black kid?
Nobody would be saying anything.
Oh, they wouldn't say shit. They wouldn't say shit. That shit wouldn't even hit headline news at all.
What would happen if it was a white kid that killed a white kid?
It still wouldn't make the news.
It still wouldn't hit those headline news.
It was the perfect storm because it was a black kid killing the white kid. That was the, and then they can spin the avenue of trying to say that this is perfect, or well, this is self-defense, right? And so it's not quite self-defense, but it's not quite murder. It's somewhere in that gray area. That's a perfect storm, and it's a lightning rod for the powers that be in the black bourgeoisie. The Roland Martin types, the Joy Reids, Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris, the whole band of characters, right? Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the facts of the situation, they want you to believe that this was racially motivated. I can personally assure you race had nothing to do with that. While people want you to believe that Texas is some sort of super racist, bigoted place, and while in some areas that may be the case, in Frisco, in areas in Dallas, in Houston, where it's kind of like melting pots, where you have all kinds of cultures clashing all at once. And then not only that, these boys were athletes, both of them. They both played football. They both ran track. They both adhered to a certain code. Both of these boys had white players and black players on both of their teams. And out of every single eyewitness, not one of them mentioned a single thing about race or any kind of racial comments being made. But when you listen to the commentary, especially what's being heard in the black community, it's everything. It was these white boys, these big old white boys against this black man, and he had to defend himself. You're trying to create a scenario that didn't exist. You're trying to paint this as if Carmelo wasn't the aggressor. He was the one who was in a place where he didn't belong. He was the one with the knife.
How many times was he asked to leave?
15 times they asked him to leave. So you're effectively trespassing, because what you did was tantamount to going into another team's locker room. So you already out of pocket right there. Then you've been asked to leave multiple times by multiple people. It wasn't just Austin who asked him to leave. It was Austin who ultimately got into the altercation with him. But it was multiple people who had asked him to leave. And like I said, when they would...
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Where did you hear that information that they asked him to leave 15 times?
Oh, that's the court transcript.
That's in the court transcript. I'm just wondering.
So they never tell us this.
Because I just thought that it was interesting.
I've never heard this. Yeah, this is my first time hearing this.
This is my first time hearing it, especially considering that if that was the case, then why is it would they give him permission to be underneath that tent? They gave him permission to be there.
They didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
He wasn't supposed to be in there.
He wasn't supposed to be in there.
Can I ask y'all? Everyone ask everyone a question, and it's for everybody that's watching. Mm-hmm. They didn't tell us this all before.
Why, fam? Why would they? They don't. It'd never happen like that. And Mark knows more about the story. I just recently heard they want to make it a black-white thing. They were saying the black players on the white dudes team was the ones that approached him first. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. They ain't talking about that shit.
They only said Austin was picking on him.
No.
That's the storyline they gave us.
No.
Austin was picking on him.
Nope.
Carmelo was the aggressor. Carmelo started the whole
They
shit.
say Austin was the aggressor
that ain't what
at
I
first.
Oh, Austin was not the
So
aggressor.
then it changed the police report?
No, Austin was merely trying to de-escalate the situation, in all honesty, and that's by over 21 people's accounts. The prosecution called 21 people for eyewitnesses, and then the defense called another 5 on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm correct when I say this, 3 of the 5 corroborated the story of the eyewitnesses from the prosecution. So you can't have your star witness, which is the guy Eddie Parra, who was allegedly the friend that Carmelo knew, which really wasn't a friend. It was more so a guy that he knew because his girlfriend was friends with him, right? Remember, in one of the videos that I put on TikTok, I mentioned that my theory behind this was it wasn't random that Carmelo happened to be in Memorial's tent that day. It wasn't random that he had his hand on a knife or that he had a knife in a football stadium. Again, I go to baseball games, football games all the time. There's metal detectors. You don't just bring weapons into
You
stadiums.
don't bring weapons in the and
So-
then as being an athlete, as I was an athlete, we not having no weapons on us.
Exactly, because now
This
you
shit
bring
is so
situation-
whack because it's only being publicized, honestly, because it's a black boy who killed a white boy. That's the thing that really trips me
That's
out.
the perfect
If it
storm.
was, let me just say this real fast. This shit happens all the time. All the time.
Yes.
Where a student or a young person kills another young person.
But
It
wasn't
happens
supposed to
all the
happen like
time. This
first
is what's pissing me off about it, is you guys are making it racial. Y'all are making it racial. Y'all are making it political. It's left versus right. I heard somebody today. Why do y'all have to bring Republican and Democrat into every fucking conversation? It makes no sense. Everything is not political. Everything is not racial either.
Yo, I made a post. I swear to God, I'm so glad you said that shit. I made
I'm
a
sick of
post about the ageism and how like politicians need to be following how certain people got to retire.
Yeah.
This clown motherfucker that's on my Facebook page was saying, so do you believe that the president should have an age limit? I said to him, I've said on numerous occasions, if you are an elected official, if they got to set a retirement age for everybody else, y'all should follow it too. I was like, I agree with you. This dude he be hawking my shit. But this is what happened. Listen to this. What happened? After I agree with him, he immediately take the shit to Trump. But what about fam? They can't help it. See, that like poison pill has seeped to the people. Because you have to think about the shift. It was never always left right. People used to always have conversations. They made it left right. They made it so if you if vax or unvax, what's the other shit? Commie, what? It's always something. They always have to have people going after the boogeyman. Fuck all that shit.
But ain't it on you if you're not smart enough to peep the play?
No, that's the thing. We're smart enough to say it. Those motherfuckers are brainwashed, but here's the trick to that. They are the minority. But they always show them on media like they are everybody. No.
Who has the biggest voice?
It's always going to be the media.
Mm-hmm. Who has the biggest
It's always
voice?
going to be. That's why us doing what we're doing carries so much weight, because we constantly spit out truth. They refuse to do some shit like this. That's why, and then they show their hypocrisy. One of the greatest examples of what we're talking about is how is our government, this is the taxation by representation, how the SAVE Act didn't get passed. Y'all have the numbers. The entire country saying we want this shit. But they're in their emotions, how they feel, you don't have the right to do that shit. And it's no revolt. That's where the revolt should be. The revolt should be on that. It should be on this goddamn corruption, and should be on election integrity. Those three motherfuckers agree on. A lot of us agree. I'm not gonna say a lot of us.
Too much right. That's too much like right.
Yes.
The revolt right now was coming June 14th, everybody, by the way. The revolt is coming again.
What's
The No Kings Coalition is coming back. They come again, y'all. June 14th, the
So a bunch
rise
of
up.
underarm
sing
smelling,
out.
stein shaking, mayonnaise looking folks standing shoulder to shoulder in 90-degree heat, 200,000 thick with no porta potties nowhere. I can smell the must from my computer screen. Ugh.
And you saying that, and you made a great point, because what particular group of people is mostly out there? Older people.
Mhm.
Somebody gonna have a motherfucking stroke out there.
They ain't
Yes,
got
sir.
nothing else to do.
No, but but he
They
made
don't
a
have
great
anything
point.
to do.
Being in
But
this
you,
heat,
but you know what I think, and I'm just being honest now. I'm gonna talk black to y'all real fast, okay?
all right, Vicky
I
Dillon.
truly feel like that these cases, because they noticed that black folks wasn't moving. They noticed that black folks was not moving. They were not moving. Listen, one thing I give respect to the 92% who was like, we rested. They was resting. They was resting. They was resting. And they tried everything that they could to bring y'all out when it came to them two people getting murdered up there in Minnesota. That didn't work. They tried African drums and everything. They tried showing that there were melanated people being deported. That didn't work. They tried to utilize Hispanics to make black people feel bad about not sticking up for them. That shit didn't work.
They came out with the
Then
hantavirus. That didn't work.
That didn't work. Listen, then they started noticing, because they pay attention to what we do online, y'all.
Mhm.
They pay attention to what we do online. Letting that man buy TikTok was a power play. And I will forever be pissed off at Trump for letting that man buy TikTok, because that especially considering the fact that just a few months or a year or so before that, y'all already had in y'all mind that y'all wanted to buy TikTok, because you knew that it was a lot of radical conversations against these people that was taking place. So now you are right there in the room to see what's being talked about and what's being said. Let me tell you something. First of all, shout out to all the white Americans that are speaking up about this shit, because we can't say a damn thing about it. We'll lose our accounts. But let me tell you something. White folks on IG don't give a fuck. I'm talking about they going in, and I salute you for that. But back to what I'm talking about. They saw that black Americans was talking about the indigenous black Americans. They were talking about their lineage. They was talking about the cosplaying that was taking place. They was talking about all of these things and how they're discovering who actually are the people who were here originally, going back and forth with Native Americans, fighting about that shit. They've been paying attention to that. It was like, nah, we got to pull y'all attention away. The Diddy trial, they had us for a little bit. Nah, we got to pull y'all attention back to something else. So we're going to go ahead and lynch some people down south again. They lynched that black boy again. Then they lynched that biracial man. That didn't work. So now we got to figure out a way. Let's go ahead and use the Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thomas situation. Nah, that's not working. Let's go ahead and throw out this case that happened 3 years ago where the Asian man killed this little black boy. That worked. Because then now you got black folks saying that they want to boycott Asian places,
And
but
we
not
know that shit
boycott
has
Al
never
Sharpton and the NAACP that ignored the shit for the last 3 years. So now they're emotionally invested in that case as well as this one. So they got us. They got y'all now. Because now y'all making a situation that wasn't about black and white. Now y'all mad.
An Asian white.
So how is black people, especially black women? I love y'all, my sisters, my queens, queen, all hail queen, sister, mother, goddess, my mama black. But how is it that you're gonna tell me on your Samsung phone screen, which was made in Asia, or your Apple, which was made in Asia, as you sit there with those lashes on that were undoubtedly made in Asia, as you have those acrylic nails on your fingers, which were undoubtedly done by someone probably from Asia, you're telling me that you're going to go out here and boycott Asian stores when you are the biggest supporters of Asian business? You telling me that you're no longer going to eat the egg foo young? You're no longer going to order the yakami? Are you crazy? And we're talking about these places are in the middle of the boom, 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 the heartbeat of the ghetto. You mean to tell me you're going to go walk past Chin's fucking Chinese carry out in the middle of the hood to walk down the street to where? Ray and them carry out.
They still own some gas stations too.
I don't eat that
Wait,
shit.
how you gonna fill your car up? And then
I don't
you
eat
ladies
that
love the weed. You love the Remy and the Yaki and all of the other shit and the Bohemian Goddess or whatever this shit is called, right? Y'all love that shit. Where you gonna buy it from? Keisha and them
Well,
don't got no
well-
beauty supply store.
Not like that.
Well. Here is the thing. I don't think that. Well, and that's why I said I know a majority of y'all not gonna boycott shit. Y'all not. I don't think that it's a big. In my opinion, I don't think that it should be a boycott for Asian people as a whole. I don't think that because there's no way that we could get away from buying Asian stuff. Let's be honest. Everything that we have is made in China. I think that what I was telling in my video, if you don't like how somebody is treating you in your community, don't shop there.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank
shop
you.
there. If you don't like the fact that Indians or Africans are buying up the gas stations, I did the Google research myself. It's $2,000 to start your own gas station. Put the money in the pot. Start your own gas station. If that's how you feel, start your own bodega. If that's how you feel. If you don't like how somebody is treating you in your community, as a team, as a community, don't go there because they're going to be there if the money is being spent there either way. Now, when it comes to nail shops, hair salons, beauty supply stores and shit like that, I feel like this. Order your shit online. If you don't like how the beauty supply store in your community, if they're racist or disrespectful towards you, buy your shit online. It's going to still come from China, though. It's going to still come from Asia. So at the end of the day, go where you're celebrated. If you know for sure that this specific, not all of them, because I'm going to tell you there's a difference. I live in between two beauty supply stores. Both of them are Asian owned. The one up the street from me, I ain't going to hold you. I don't like going to that one. I don't like going in there and seeing a whole memorabilia or a whole wall full of black people who done stole out of your place. I don't like seeing that shit. So guess what? I'm going to go to the one up the street. He's always kind to me. We always have conversations. He's the only one that works there. So I'm going to go where I'm respected and where I can spend my money. I don't give a damn what race you are. But when it comes to the black community, I think that sometimes we have a way of being xenophobic without being xenophobic. You can't sit here and say, I'm just going to stop going to all beauty supply stores. And you know damn well that everything that we have is from Asia. It's really not going to work out that way. Unless you just say, you know what? I know that I have a need for beauty supply store in my community. Let me see what I could do in order for me to start one. Or let's all just not go to this specific beauty supply store. Let's all just not go to this specific nail shop. Let's all pull our money out of there and start putting our money into building this shit in our neighborhood for ourselves. I literally live up the street from a spa that is black owned that I didn't even know was black owned. So guess what? I'm going to support. It's just really about going where you're respected. It don't matter what race you are. But if you know for sure that you feel as if this particular Asian place is being disrespectful and they follow you around your neighborhood or they follow, not your neighborhood, but they follow you around the store, don't fucking go there anymore.
But
It's not your own.
This is the thing about our culture, us being black. We don't know how to support each other.
Well, hold on. I know where you're going with this. I made a video about that as well. It's not the fact that we don't know how to support each other. It's the fact that we need to boss up when it comes to how we treat each other with these businesses. First of all, I made a comment saying that we need to stop calling our businesses black businesses. That's another thing, because I feel like that really kind of blocks people who are not black from wanting to support your business. The only thing that should matter in business is green. It don't matter where it's coming from. But when you automatically say, oh, well, I'm a black business, and you get mad when you're noticing that black people aren't supporting you, maybe you should do an inventory on why. Could it be that maybe it's not the best services that you're providing? Could it be that somebody else is providing the service that's cheaper? Could it be that maybe you don't have the cleanest environment in your restaurant? Maybe it's just the fact that you might not have the best attitude. The fact of the matter is, I don't think that it has anything to do with us not supporting black businesses. We know that a lot of black businesses, they either got badass attitudes when you walk up in there. You're probably not going to get the best service. The food is going to be mid as fuck. I don't know how much soul food I can eat. Bring me something different. We have to be willing to step outside of the box. How many more rib shops are y'all gonna buy? How many more wings are y'all gonna buy? How much more of that is you gonna buy? Seriously.
I want to say something. Can I want to say, I want to piggyback off you, but I want to hear what Food got to say.
Go ahead, fool.
The fact that we have people coming online saying we're going to boycott all Asian businesses. This is the reason why that makes absolutely no sense. We never have a plan. They say it, but where is the action behind it? The action, everybody should have said, to play on what Shannon just mentioned, nobody should ever shop at that store again. Nobody in this community ever shops at that store again. Now, mind you, this shit should have been happening 2 years ago when it originally happened. But now it gets brought up. We always move off being emotional and fucking irrational. Yep. Because now, if y'all want to start saying we're gonna boycott all businesses, if all of y'all boycott these businesses, every woman out there better be natural. She better not have no motherfucking nails. She better not have no eyelashes.
No lashes, no nothing.
Because if you do, where you get it from? She bought up buying the shit online, but they're not going to do that. That's why my biggest thing is there's never a fucking plan. And that is our biggest downfall. They know we move off of emotion, which is the issue. There's never a contingency plan. That's why I have massive respect for our elders. They was doing all this shit back in the day. I don't even know if they was motherfuckers on the phone. Like, goddamn, what the fuck? No. When I make that statement, even when I bring up somebody like when they talk about having plans, I ain't heard one young person. I always hear young people talk about some goddamn white supremacy. Do you even know who Claude Anderson is? Did you read Powernomics? Which is the actual plan that nobody follows? Nobody follows this shit.
Which is one of the reasons why we need to quit saying I got a lot of respect for my elders. Because no, y'all had the opportunity to stop this shit a long time ago, and you did not. Y'all had the opportunity to, when Dr. Claude Anderson did his little lecture on Powernomics, we were kids. So we didn't know. But y'all wasn't. Our parents, our grandparents, 9 times out of 10, they were probably paying no attention at all to Dr. Claude Anderson. There's probably elders right now who probably still don't know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. The fact of the matter is that, like, y'all could have stopped this a long time ago. Y'all did not have to have these people build businesses in the black neighborhoods, nor did you have to have so many people willing to spend money with these people in the black neighborhoods. But we're in 2026. There's really nothing, like Mark likes to say, the toothpaste is out of the motherfucking tube. It's nothing that you could do. That's why I said right now you need to be looking at who is allowing it to happen. Who is allowing it to happen?
My bad, Shannon. I'm sorry.
No,
look, some places you can't help but because, okay, so I'm from a little small town called Franklin, Louisiana. All right. Mm-hmm. Population, y'all Google this. Population, y'all, 6,000 people. All right. But we have parishes, which are small little towns, right? Mm-hmm. What y'all would call little hick towns, small little towns. But one whole parish may be the size of north of Dallas, maybe the south side of Houston, you know what I'm saying? But it's a bunch of parishes come together. A bunch of little towns is called a parish. So we have the St. Mary Parish. St. Mary Parish made around maybe I want to say 200,000 people, if that, because everybody been moved away. I am blessed to have a family business. This business here is recession proof. own a mortuary. Okay, that's
Oh,
my
hell yeah.
family business that we grew up in. All right, that I grew up in. But it's automatically when black folks die, they come to us. When the white folks die, they go to that. They go to a certain mortuary, certain funeral home. Right. My grandfather worked for that mortuary in the 60s. My grandfather, they asked my grandfather would he want to, if he want to buy the funeral home. Grandfather said yes. We've been established since 1965. It's 2026. All black people come to us, all white people go to them. It's just, and it's like we can't help that because this is already was embedded in us since the 60s. It's 2026. We still kicking, they still kicking, and my grandfather started over there, and we established our homes. And it's just that mentality that we have and that country mentality. But Shannon, exactly what you said, we need to stop saying black businesses. But my dad is 70 years old. My dad's the owner now, right? My dad's still in that same mentality. It's up to me and my little brother to change that mentality, right? To show that we can do mix, we can bring mix in, right? But everyone is still one track mind
Yeah,
around that area.
I agree with that. And I'm gonna make one point. This is just an example of why I
Uh-huh.
say we should move away from black calling our establishments black businesses. This is just
Right.
an example. I made this example. When I lived in Atlanta, I lived in Georgia for 8
Uh-huh.
years. One of my first jobs was at a black-owned restaurant named the Pecan. It was downtown Main Street, College Park. Black owned. Okay. It ain't there no more. It's closed down. But around that time, it was a 5-star restaurant. They had white tablecloths, glasses. It was one of those spots where as somebody who worked there, I had to wear a tie. I had to wear a tie up in that bitch. And some of the biggest people that used to come in there was the owner of Chick-fil-A. Delta used to do a lot of their things there. Creflo Dollar, Andre Three Stacks. I met so many people up in that restaurant. Used to make money every day. However, the thing about it is that like they didn't structure their model around being a black business. Did they serve soul food? Yes, they did, but they served bougie soul food with Caribbean flair. That's what they called it. So it was a place where not just black people came, everybody came up in there. I served the
Correct.
owner of Chick-fil-A like several times. There was another, like all of those little restaurants that were black owned. You would never know it until the owner came out freshly dressed in a suit or a nice outfit and introduced themselves to the people that was out there. That's the only way that you would know it was a black business. And guess what? They attracted a certain type of demographic. They attracted a certain type of clientele. It's no different than if you go to a club that might be owned by a black person and they don't want nobody in there that wear baseball caps and Jordans. The moment that you allow certain type of people coming in, it changes the whole vibe of the scene. It changes the whole vibe. So maybe, just maybe, calling it a black business also changes the vibe and the type of clientele that you have up in there. It's a lot of black businesses that might be successful that don't necessarily say that they are black business, but you
That's
just
the only
know.
way about it. You're completely destroying your base by saying that you're black anything.
Black
Oh
owned.
my goodness. I just want to talk about black stupidity for a minute if I can. As I'm listening to everything that y'all saying, I actually agree, and I'm not here to disagree with that. But from the standpoint of black people just need to wake up. I don't know that that'll ever happen, but that's what needs to happen. We're stupid in every aspect of everything that we do. We are literally stupid. Now, what is the logic in saying that you have a black owned business? Where's the logic in that? Do white people come out and say I have a white owned
Black owned
business?
business.
They never say that. It's just I have a business. But we want to say that we have a black owned business because we want to trigger some sort of emotional response out of you. We want you to feel some kind of way. We want you to feel inclined to come shop with me because of my blackness. And what people don't want to talk about in the black community is we don't worship God. We worship our skin color. You're more concerned about being black than you are concerned about being a Christian. You're more concerned about being black than you are concerned about being humane. If you look at what's happening with this Austin Metcalf case and what's going on with Carmelo Anthony, you got people that are literally championing and standing behind someone who committed murder, and they're trying to justify it. That should tell you the state of our community. You have people who are literally trying to rally and do damage and cause riots and all kind of chaos over Rick Chow and what happened in the situation because an Asian store owner shot the little boy. I feel so bad for the little boy, kinda. The little boy was in the store with no money, picking up shit that he shouldn't be picking up. He was in the store for 20 minutes. What you doing in the store for 20 minutes when you ain't got no money and you got a gun, a loaded one at that? And you 14 years old. Then we got to listen to his black mama come out here and talk about, oh my God, my baby wasn't no thug. My baby was this. I went to school. I'm college educated. Well, clearly, ma'am, you wasn't smart enough to keep your son from having a fucking gun. Because if he didn't have that gun, I'm willing to bet he would be alive right now. But see, we don't want to take accountability. We want to blame the white man. We want to blame the Asian man. These people keep coming in here and they doing this and they doing that. But nobody ever wants to put a plan of action into motion. Everybody just wants to talk. Nobody actually wants to do the work. You want to sit up there and rest on your laurels and think that because you're black, someone owes you something in this country. Every single group of people that come.
They do.
They don't.
They do.
I don't believe that they owe
You don't
us
have
anything.
to, but don't. I'm sorry. I gotta stop you for a second.
Go ahead.
Because they do. They do.
What do you
None
think
of
they
this.
owe us?
Let's be honest. Let's be all the way honest. And I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I'm gonna do it anyway. They do. First of all, acknowledge the fact that we had black neighborhoods. We were doing fine. We didn't need nobody to come over there and do anything for us or with us. And guess what happened? They burnt all that shit down. They burnt the shit down. Talk about how America stole generational wealth from black Americans and never gave that shit back. Every single time. If we would have never had y'all with y'all greasy, oily, pale, disgusting hands. And I'm speaking from somebody who knows that my ancestors had money in that Freedmen's Bank. I got the statements. I know how much land that my ancestors owned in this country that was taken from them. Y'all don't acknowledge the fact that you did that. You don't acknowledge the fact that you put black codes and made it hard for newly freed slaves to be able to live and be self-sufficient. And every single damn time that they made the effort to do it themselves, you burnt their shit down or you flooded them out. Y'all don't talk about how y'all reclassified black Americans to be something that they're not. Several times throughout history. I'm not even talking about slavery because white people were slaves too. But why the only slave history that we learned about in this country is about black people. The moment that you tell a white person that they might have ancestors that they were slaves, they don't listen to shit that we talking about. They don't care about that.
To be honest, I think that we should go buy land.
But the thing about it is this. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, bro. The thing about it is that, like, America, the United States Corporation, I'm going to say the United States Corporation. We ain't even going to talk about America. We're going to talk about USA. The biggest issue is we're dealing with the fact that our government has lied so much and they have said nothing but lies our entire existence since we've been here. And they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they have been lying the entire time. So even if you don't owe us shit monetary, you owe us the fucking truth. You owe the fact that you know what you did is you robbed people from them being able to provide for their families for long-term, for longevity. You rob people of generational wealth. Granted, a lot of us bust our asses to not be able to have to deal with our grandparents or what our parents have done. We have. A lot of us were blessed to have somebody who had generational wealth and didn't never have to do that. That's a blessing. But everybody ain't had that shit like that. Think about how the crack epidemic is still fucking with people today. Still. Right now, we're dealing with the biggest division that we've ever had in our community because of the government, because of politics. I don't even talk to my family members right now because of politics. So no, we're not going to sit here and say that the government don't owe. The government owe a lot. They owe a lot. They owe the truth. They owe to tell the truth. And until they tell the truth, we're going to constantly keep going in this circle of pointing fingers at white versus black. Y'all niggas owe us. Y'all owe us. Y'all owe us the truth. You need to tell the truth that you bought those white folks over here.
You allowed those white folks over here.
You allowed those white people to come over here, and you know that you enslaved them. Then you wiped them out when you seen that they was mixing with us. That was the reset of 1812. That was the whole point. I know you don't want to hear it, Mark, but I'm being honest.
No, it's not that. It's not that I don't want to hear it. It's from the standpoint of this. I look at things like we all have a choice in everything that we do. We have to look at things like what you just said it earlier. United States of America.
One second. Don't get rid of that thought. Whoever that is in the comments, that hoodoo in Louisiana, my man, yo, chill with that. We don't do that over here.
And whatever, I don't know whose page that is.
Man, get them out of here, man. Get them out of here, bro.
I don't know whose page that's coming from. Hoodoo in Louisiana.
Hoodoo in Louisiana.
We keep it cool. We don't call people coons over here.
Yeah.
Hoodoo in Louisiana voodoo. We having a conversation. Mark is entitled to how he feels and what he wants to say. He's entitled to his opinion and what he stands for. So it's never anything against what he's saying, but that's just how I feel because I know my lineage and I know what is old. I know that this government has did a number on all of us, black, white, Mexican, Asian. They've done a number on all of us. So to sit here and say that the government don't owe nobody shit, that is a lie to me. They owe everybody. They owe all of us.
I don't think it's the government. Like I said, to me, it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. We just was talking about how could we have this kind of weird relationship with the country of Israel? Why do we have the weird relationship with the Vatican City and Catholics and all this other shit? Like, it's deeper than the government, and it always has been. There has been tyranny, slavery, oppression, people robbing people stealing from people since the existence of people. Since Cain killed Abel, this has always been the case. It's not just relegated to Black America. Yes, we have had it hard in America. Absolutely. I'm not here to take away from anybody's pain or to say that things aren't difficult or that we weren't robbed or we weren't tricked or we weren't duped. But every single time there was a choice to be made and we made it. Think about what Harriet Tubman says, how many people that she could have saved if they actually knew that they were even enslaved. So many of us don't even realize that we are part of our own problem. We are in our own way because we're stuck in a victim mentality. We think that the world is against us. The world is against everybody. The world is set up for everybody to fail. The difference between people who are successful versus people who aren't successful is the mentality that you house, whether you're a victim or whether you're a predator, whether you're willing to go get it, whether you're willing to go take it. A lot of us, we're looking for humanity and people to be nice to us and people to look out for us and people to do what's right, when the concept of what's right is subjective and each group of people is going to be different. So however you feel about it, you can say that, oh, I'm a coon because I'm not on here talking about, Negro spirituals and, oh my God, I can't believe the man is the oppressor and all that other shit. I choose to think that no matter whatever the situation is, I am not a victim. I can control my own future, my own destiny. Anywhere that I go in America, it doesn't say colored only. It doesn't say blacks only. It doesn't say I can't go here, I can't go there. That means that I can do any and everything that a white person can do, an Asian person, a Latino person. So I don't want to subscribe to that notion that, oh my God, life is so hard, life is so difficult, I can't be successful. I don't want to subscribe to that. That doesn't. And
you shouldn't have to. I don't think anybody wants to. I don't think anybody wants to subscribe to that. But we also should acknowledge. It's about acknowledgement. Acknowledge the fact that you, as leadership, the same way that you all can, the same way.
Yo, I gotta say this. I have to say this.
What?
Yo, Hoodoo, please remove yourself out of our podcast, unsubscribe or whatever, because we're men and we're men, women, and adults. The fact that you can't accept the fact that we can have a conversation without name calling, you're a child. That's very immature. My man, just bounce. You can do whatever you want, but there's no need for you to be here because we don't do the name calling here because once again we're.
I
Hey,
banned
fool,
them.
I
They
got
gone.
this. You fool, you good. Let him keep
Nah,
doing
No,
it.
no,
gone.
no, 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 no,
He's
no.
gone.
I already
He's
banned them.
gone.
Okay,
I
you banned it?
banned
Okay,
them.
cool.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
banned them.
I'm good.
But what I'm saying is that like I feel this. And I agree with you because I've done pretty good in my life. I would say, still doing good, you know. But acknowledgement of what you did would be great. Acknowledgement that you see that people are out here, and now it's so clear to me that you're right. It is bigger than the government, but do we even know who our government is anymore? Do we even know who our government is anymore? They've allowed so many people from so many other countries to infiltrate our government at this point. Do we even know?
I would think that when you start talking about conspiracy theories and the fact that America was purchased back in 1929 by 4 families, allegedly, you can, deduce from that what you will. But that would lend credence to what we're talking about, it being deeper than the government. I think that while President Trump is a very powerful man, while the president of the United States, period, is a very powerful man, that doesn't mean that there aren't checks and balances. That doesn't
So
mean.
do you think, and I don't know if you know this as well, because one thing I've noticed is that like the president really don't got that much power like I thought.
No,
He has he answers to. I believe this is. I don't have anything to prove it, but there is someone that he answers to. Absolutely.
Yes.
When they go to those cabals, like out there in Bohemian Grove and Burning Man Festival and all of the other weird shit that's going on. See, when we really break it down, it's a whole nother.
They
situation
shadow
that's
banning
going
this,
on.
y'all. Just so
It's
y'all
the-
know.
Damn.
They glitch in the video too. They've been doing this shit the whole.
Yeah, they shadow banning the hell out of
That's
this
because we
video.
trying to tell the truth. And like I said,
No,
and the
we
shit
are.
I'm talking about,
Ain't no such thing as try. We are. Keep going.
and like I said, and what I'm talking about is real. It's like whoever Hoodoo was, he's so busy wrapped up in the fact of everything is black versus white when it's
but that's the
deeper
perfect
than that,
example of
bro.
what I was trying to explain to you about. And I promise you, the voodoo person is probably from one of those little small country towns back home. They don't know, and that's the bro.
Well,
it's
we should have
better than
already.
us.
Well, we should have
Right?
already knew that something was wrong when you combining hoodoo and voodoo together. That's
I
another
mean,
problem.
yeah, we obviously know that. I feel like this, y'all, and this is God honest truth. And I mean, we all can disagree, but I think we all gonna agree to this. We don't know our history. Point blank, period.
Absolutely.
We don't know our history.
Absolutely.
We the only ones that don't know our history.
But you know why? Because history is told. History is nothing but a bunch of lies agreed upon. You gotta literally like dig in deep. You're gonna have to pay to learn your history. Unless you got an elder that's still alive, you're gonna have to spend some money to really dig.
That's why I said that no one owes you anything, because the people who would owe you something are all dead.
No, they got descendants.
What I'm saying is anybody who would have had something to do with those things that happened or allegedly in the past, even though technically, like you just said, it's a set of agreed upon lies. We don't really know what happened. They tell us that when you go back through history that Tartaria didn't exist. They tell you that dinosaurs are real. Like when you can go back and start proving that this shit is false. So what is actual truth? What actually happened back in the day? They told you that slavery was only black people from Africa. Come to find out, it was white slaves and slaves from all different countries. Slavery was all over the world. When I was growing up in high school and in elementary school or whatever the case, the only thing that we learned about was that slavery was here in America. I didn't discover that slavery was going on all over the world until after I got to college.
Man,
I mean, what we're healing the Jews.
we can't talk about them.
I know we can't say that, but I mean, it's the same thing.
I know food. I think food paused out. You know what I think? I've been thinking about this in my mind. I was having my little wacky tobacco moment, y'all. Okay, and I was I don't know, Rick. Like I always brag about this site that I'm on. It's called Newspaper by Ancestry, and they have like all of these news clippings from like you could go as far back as like 1600 worldwide shit. Like I'll be in there. So I was learning, and I was reading something a few days ago, and I was just like, damn, they like really used to treat the European slaves worse than they used to treat the Negro slaves in the UK. In fact, Negro slavery for the Africans actually ended before what happened with with white slavery. So this is what I think happened here in America. Benjamin Franklin himself said that they wanted to make America white. They didn't want no tawny people here. They didn't want no melanated people here at all. And those that were going to be here, they needed to eliminate or make it less of them because they wanted only white people over here. This is what Benjamin Franklin said. This is a real fact.
But we was too populated.
Listen, the wars were going on here for years.
They could not extinct. They could not extinct.
They couldn't. They couldn't kill off. They couldn't kill everybody off. They couldn't.
And they could transport us all here.
Huh?
They couldn't transport us all here.
Nah. It was a lot. They was having wars where like they were killing off like millions of Indians at one point. You know what I'm saying? And then bringing diseases. And then yes, but then we were mixed. We were mixing, Red. That's what people don't realize is that when they were bringing the Irish, the Scottish, and everything over here to America to work, because they were the first slaves, which we did not know about. They were mixing with the brown slaves. They were mixing with us. They didn't like that shit. It was like, oh hell no, I don't like that shit. We don't like it. So what we gonna have to do? Either we're gonna have to remove these people up out of here, or make them hate these people that they're mixing with, or we're just gonna have to bring over more Europeans over here, so that way it could be more of them and less of them. They continue to do this throughout history. They'll kill off a bunch of Indians and then bring over more Europeans, and then they'll bring over Europeans like Irish, Scottish, and Mark, I know you know this. Irish, Scottish, Italians, they were coming over here, but they were heavily discriminated against. They didn't fuck with them like that. And then they didn't fuck with Chinese people like that. I don't think Chinese people got the right to be citizens until like what, 1790 or some shit like that. It was a while. So that instead of keeping these classes looking down upon them, they was like, nah, this is what we could do. Let's just bring them over to our side. Let's make them white. And then that way, we'll have a class of people that we could just look to always have our side, our back against the melanated people that's here.
So Shannon, do you know that? And this is for everyone else that's viewing the show. Y'all can go to any library. I want everybody to know this. We are classified under 17 different niggas, not Negroes, niggas. We got classification under niggas, right?
They messing you up. They messing you up. The thing is that like they knew that if we would have stayed united,
right,
that they would not be able to have so much power over us in general.
Okay.
We would have been able to be united. And majority of white Americans may not even know this. Y'all probably mulattoes. Y'all probably octoroons.
I think it may be hate on a lower level, like for like the regular Hittite style people, it may be hatred there. But throughout the entirety of history, it's always been about two things: competition and business.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I have the stance that I have. And this is why I defend it so vehemently, because I understand that it's not about racism, it's about placism. This is what I keep trying to tell everybody. It's about understanding your place. It's about understanding your place in life, your place in history, your place as a race, whatever the case you want to say. But it's about understanding your place. And see, if we had a better understanding of business, and we would have been able to defend our place much better. If we would have took better precautions, we would have been able to defend our land much better. We would have made certain decisions that were better beneficially as far as business wise. We would have thrived in certain situations. I'm not saying that we were always had the numbers, but we've always had the strength. We've always had the will, but we've put ourselves in a position where we allow ourselves to be manipulated by outside forces,
But
and
Mark,
people take advantage of that.
but
Throughout
understand,
history.
we still. I'm not going to say black people. Everyone that's in our kind that's in America, we the only ones that don't know our history. We think that we know our history, but we don't know our history. We believe in what they telling us, what they done told us, and it trigger down. Because where the child first learning experience is from home.
Right.
Okay, so we going off of what we was taught. We going off of what's passed down from generation after generation after generation, right? Of what they told us about our history.
Religion too.
How?
Religion too.
Religion, but we learn everything that you have said from earlier. Our whole life is a lie.
A lie. A big
A
lie.
lie. Everything that we was taught. Let me ask y'all a question. All three of y'all. Why the hell we need to know about Anne Frank and Helen Keller when we was in high school? What that was gonna do for us?
Helen Keller could see. Yeah.
But why we need to learn about them?
Yeah.
They wanted us to
Like why
understand the
why did we
importance of the
learn
Jewish
about
flight.
why did we learn about the Holocaust and not about the Devil's Punch Bowl? Do you know what the Devil's Punch Bowl is? Do you know what happened? So the Devil Punch Bowl, that happened right after the Civil War. And what happened is the Confederate Army, they rounded up all of the newly freed slaves as well as the soldiers that was still that fought with them, because they lost. They rounded them up and put them in a area in Mississippi. I think it's called Natchez, Mississippi. They rounded them up.
Mississippi.
Yep, they
Natchez.
rounded them up. It was thousands of them, children, women, men, rounded them up. They let them sit in this area to starve and die for over a year. It wasn't until somebody from Abraham Lincoln's camp, because back then they ain't had no cell phones. They wasn't sending ravens and no shit like that. It's no
Nope.
different than the people down there who found out that they were already free from slavery down there in Texas, which is why we got Juneteenth. They killed all of these people for a whole year, thousands of them. None of this shit was ever in the history books. All of these the shit that happened out there in South Carolina, there are so many historic massacres that have taken place in America on this land that nobody knows about. But we know everything about the Holocaust. We know everything about Hiroshima. We know everything about all of those things, but we don't know about the wars that took place in our country because of people coming over here, taking land from people who were minding their business. They literally, the Native Americans and the indigenous Indians, because it's a difference. You had one wave that came before another wave that came. They were working together. Here comes Spain and France, acting all cool and shit. And then they turned these people against each other. That's why we beefing with Native Americans today. We're supposed to be working together. We're supposed to be working with the Native Americans. We're supposed to be working with the Hispanics, all the Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, it's South America, Central America, and North America. That's all supposed to be working together. And what are we doing? We looking at each other as illegal immigrants. We hate you. Y'all racist. We don't fuck with y'all. We all supposed to be working with each other. And that all comes from over there, across the pond. The same people that's currently in our government right now that's still orchestrating race wars. None of this shit makes sense.
They didn't teach us about Queen Khalifa.
No, they
Queen
didn't.
of California.
I got a buddy who's from California that didn't know nothing about Queen Khalifa.
And her castle is Alcatraz.
Damn. I didn't know that.
You
I
didn't
think
know
that
that?
it all just boils down to the fact that, like, man, shit ain't normal. This shit is not normal. Nothing that's going on right now is not normal. And it's not normal because they're lying about everything. You got some people that's waking up, some people that don't know what's going on, some people that don't want to wake up. It's just like a very strange time. And it all boils down to our leadership not being honest about the roles that they play in a lot of
we
these
choose the
wars that they
leadership.
do. Huh?
We choose the leadership.
That's
Look
not
what-
even,
No, we
that's
don't.
not even true.
We do not choose the leadership,
That's not even
Mark,
true.
and you know that's not the truth.
How?
What you mean?
Think,
So
I want
people-
you. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not talking about in the actual sense because we're all on the same page as far as that's concerned. That's the illusion of inclusion. But I'm talking about from the macro level, right? You choose who you vote for. People went in there and they saw Brandon Johnson on the ticket, and they saw Lori Lightfoot on the ticket, and they selected Brandon Johnson. You chose this. Now the Chicago Bears are leaving your city.
Yeah, and they come in
chose
here.
So we have to take accountability for we.
Where Chicago Bears going? I'm lost. Where Chicago
Indiana.
Bears?
They're moving to
They're going to
Hammond,
Indiana.
Illinois. I mean Hannah, Indiana.
Is no more Chicago Bears?
Nope.
No.
Hey,
We're gonna be the Hammond Bears.
One more
The
year.
Hammond Bears.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Who said no?
But why is that? But look at what's happening. She was talking about how the government is lying. Look at what JB Pritzker and what Brandon Johnson is saying to the people about why they lost the Bears in the first place. This whole stadium shit has been going on for the past 4 years. They have had 4 or 5 years to get this stadium shit
Longer
done.
than that. Longer than
But
that.
now we find ourselves at the point where it's actually go time, and the Bears is actually having to pull the trigger and buy land and make this shit happen because the people in the NFL is like, hey, we need y'all to get a better stadium.
They
Fix
keep
your
us
camera.
divided. They
Fix your
keep us
camera.
divided and fighting with each other while they do backhanded bullshit behind the scenes.
And they
That's
can't,
what I'm
but
saying.
The sad part about it is, and it plays on Mark's point. In Chicago, in Illinois, there's an upcoming election. There are going to be people that are going to vote for JB Pritzker and Brandon Johnson after Dumb and Dumber lost them the longest standing franchise in NFL history. They've been there over 100 fucking years. That is crazy. And it shows like, and like Shannon, she know how I am. I'm into politics like that, on the like getting in the campaigns a little bit here or there. That's the whole campaign for anybody that's running in Illinois. Your governor lost the Bears. Your mayor lost. You ain't got to talk about nothing else. Don't talk about shit else. Just keep saying that over and over and over and over again. And the people be like, oh shit. But people don't want to do that because everything is analytics. They have broken everything down to make it seem like, fuck the fact that we just commodities. They make it seem like, I mean, we are computers, but the way that they do it is crazy because we also move off emotion.
Yeah.
And in my personal opinion, I think I'm gonna get a shirt made. The shirt is gonna say, take emotions out of politics.
That ain't gonna
Period.
never happen.
Politics is
Politics-
just fucking politics. It is what it
Politics,
is.
but see, emotions is like
She's a
it's
fucking
like
drug.
a emotions in politics.
And religion.
Unfortunately,
And put religion in there too, also, because they be emotional behind religion. Go ahead.
but like real talk, politics and emotion, like the emotions behind politics it's never gonna go away. You got to think about it like people are attached to their political party the same way that some people are attached to their teams, to baseball, football teams. Like
Shit.
I learned that especially when it comes to this election, because like I said, I've only voted conservative twice in my life. Twice. And when I did it the first time, I was just like, well, you know, this is just my choice. You know, the second time, same. But the first time, I just felt like, it's my choice. You know what I mean? This is what I want to go for. I like the fact that Trump, and I like where he was going. Despite the fact that people hated him when he ran the first time, I didn't care. Like I was appreciative that he was willing to sit down with Ice Cube and talk about the contract of Black America. I was appreciative of how, honestly, I feel like he handled C-19 the best that he could, despite what was going on. That was where I was going. But
I mean, that was already planned before he got in office.
exactly. But here's the thing: I never had anybody be disrespectful to me because I voted for Trump. My family knew that I voted for him, and they're all Democrats. It wasn't until this recent election that I never saw so many emotional people. This election was emotional. And I don't know why, when we were all here the last 4 years, we saw what happened. We saw how the borders was open and they was just letting people just flood here. We heard about the kids that went missing at the border. We saw that they were mutilating the kids. We saw shit that was going on that we know for sure was looked at as weird probably 5 years before, but it became a whole normal thing. We saw the shit happen, but to see that people was going to vote for the shit again.
Well, can we be specific? Because we doing a lot of they and them. Let's talk about who specifically is doing this. Specifically, this is the Democrat Party. Specifically, Black people have fallen for the traps of the Democrat Party since the 1960s. See, the problem, we used to combat the Democrat Party, especially when all of us were aligned with the Republicans back when the Republicans helped get slavery ended and things along those lines, right? When we were with the Republican Party back in the day, Black people, things were happening for us. Tulsa, it was stuff that happened to burn it down, but we're making it seem like it was all white people. No, it was a specific group of white people. It was Democrats. Let's call it out. We go back through history. It wasn't white people. It was Democratic white people that was doing this shit. Like,
you got to tweet what you're saying, Mark.
We have to be specific about what we're talking about because we're lumping in too many people that don't have nothing to do with it.
Well, then the reason why we could say they is because we also got to remember when Tulsa happened, it was a Republican mayor. The mayor was Republican.
But it's also, a lot of what also doesn't get talked about in that story was there was also other things that was going on, and it was competition, and it wasn't necessarily as much as race-based as people wanted to believe. Something happened.
I want you to, Mark,
like I said, they don't talk about it though.
I need you to kind of tweak what you said. It's not just the Democratic Party; it's the Uniparty.
Yes,
that's the thing about what you said was right. But when you fast forward to 2026, you have people who have Democratic the values that they're supposed to push, but in government, there's a group. They on both sides. And but now it's obvious. Before it was kind of hidden. You kind of didn't know.
That's the people that's above the government that I was talking about.
No.
It's within the government.
It's within.
Mitch McConnell's. I'm talking about the Massies. I'm talking about the motherfuckers who vote against the shit that should be happening. And we know on the Democratic side, we know what it is. Is there some rational Democratic politicians? It could be. We don't know. Excuse me, Fetterman. Fetterman is the only motherfucker who's outwardly got some common sense the way this shit's supposed to go. But when you start talking about the Uniparty, the reason why there's a Uniparty is because it's about the money that's involved. And both, they're automatically going to get it. The greatest example I'm going to give y'all is what happened just now. In California with that mayoral race, that woman cried and conceded that she wasn't in it. The powers that be pushing her in it. Now, for Red and Mark, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the same thing like in the movie Blue Chips. Yeah. Remember with Shaq? Shaq was like, what the fuck is this for? And they gave him that money. I'm already going. He wasn't part of the program.
Right.
Now, Penny's parent, that was different.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. They're always going to push the agenda. Everybody, they don't even know what's like those motherfuckers they don't even know what the fuck is going on. And that's what we did. If they don't know what's going on and now they're gonna get involved, watch what's gonna happen. So the objective is to get with the motherfuckers who just don't want to fucking do it. That's the this shit is it's easy and simple. But when we start talking, when I hear this shit, I know this shit, I be wanting to smack people. Anybody could be bored. Everybody got a motherfucking price. That's not true. That's not fucking true. I'm not where I want to be financially. Now, if I had some sponsorships come to me, like Monster or Red Bull, I wouldn't give a fuck if it was $1 million. I don't fuck with that shit. I don't want your money.
Take that goddamn money.
Correct.
Everybody don't have that in them to do it. we live in a time, what I would say 65% of these people that we deal with on a regular basis, they have no fucking soul, yo. They
I
have
was about to
no
say they be selling their soul.
soul.
They
Like
sell their soul.
that shit is so non-existent, and it's to the point I'm constantly out here with people. I can see it in their eyes. I'm like, God damn, yo, this shit is crazy. I had a moment 2 days ago. I burnt the fuck out. I just burnt the fuck out. I'm so damn glad I played golf yesterday. I needed that to go play golf yesterday. Go ahead, sis.
No, I was gonna say that's why I ain't really been as active. I'm trying to get my house in order.
Yes.
And separate myself from the political theater, because it's at this point where even as somebody who went so hard during campaign season for the right, I don't like shit going on with neither side right now. Like, I'm being honest, I'm conflicted. Not saying that I don't support my president, but I don't even like how he moving a lot of the times. But to say something about it, people automatically assume, oh, well, you ain't for the right no more. So we kicking you out of the Republican Party. Maybe I'm more of an independent with conservative values than I am a Republican. Maybe I just give a damn about the direction that our country is going. And I feel like for 2 years, I'm just noticing it ain't really America first right now.
But I don't think it's gonna be Republican or Democrat. I think it's going to end up messing around with big corporations.
It already is. The banks are probably, in my opinion, are probably way more in control of America than the actual government.
So this is where I'm going with this, y'all. This is what I mean by
so
this. Right?
I understand completely what Mark is saying as far as this deeper than the government, but then we also got to look at it. And I'm about to throw a alley hoop real quick to y'all. Mm-hmm. Is that the right? No, I'm a pitch. Alley hoop.
You said it right.
I'm a pitch some shit real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Because I truly believe, in my opinion, that a lot of the people that are in the government, no wonder why they asses is, oh, how do we know that these ain't the orphans that was on the orphan train? How do we know that these ain't incubator babies that are adults right now? And that's why they ain't got no motherfucking soul.
How we know if they ain't?
Y'all look at Mitch McConnell and be like, is you human, motherfucker?
Bruh.
Elon Musk don't look human.
Remember what I told y'all?
Zuckerberg don't look human.
This is par for the course. I told y'all shit like this was gonna happen, and I said, you talking about how people are soulless and all that because they're trying to convince you that God is not real. If you don't believe in God and you believe in anything else, this is the whole reason why people are walking around dumb, why people are soulless, why people are the way that they are. This has been a slow progression. We've been progressing towards this. That's what the liberals call themselves, progressives, right? This is what we've been pushing for. Trying to get us to this point where we're all idiots, where we're all overly emotional in situations that don't call for it, where we're all so much of snowflakes and buttercups that we can't handle someone who has a difference of opinion than us. We're so stupid that we can't do anything without our cell phones. I mean, literally nothing. This has all been planned in order to take your mind. They're trying to convince you that God isn't real. Because again, if you knew that God was real and you knew that God was above the firmament, watching every move you made, every thought that you had in your head, I guarantee you would move differently.
This is CIA classified. The CIA says once when I'm gonna let you go, Shannon. I got to see this. This is very important. The CIA says this is classified. Once when they drop the UFO, all the files and documents, it's going to rewrite the Bible. We know.
Here's my thing when it comes to God in the conversation of religion. I honestly feel like not only is it teaching people to not know God, but I think that they have pushed so much for people to only know a God outside of themselves. To only know a God outside of themselves. So therefore, if you only acknowledge the God outside of yourself, you feel powerless against seeking the one that's within you. There's certain things that we will possibly be able to do. Have they not been poisoning our food? Have they not been poisoning our water? Have they not put these screens in front of us on a regular damn basis? We could go on and on about all of these things that were once frowned upon in America that are now being accepted. There was a time where they thought that these TVs were literally hypnotizing us, that it was brainwashing us. That's one of the reasons why, if you remember, the TV went off at 12, guys. There was a flag that was going.
In the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning.
It was 12. I think it was like 12 or 1. But what the thing is that like we didn't have as much access as to things that we have right now. That's why these kids are so overly sexual, because they could pick up their phone and go to a porn site without even having to put in their ID. We used to, listen, I'm going to tell you something. My parents had a cheetah box back in the day. If you know, you know. We used to, you could still see the cable back in the day. My parents had a little cheetah box that you had to put in a code.
You catch everything, every channel.
Yeah, every channel that meant something, you had to put in a code. So we had Spice back in the day. Okay. Spice was like medium to softcore porn. All right. And you had to put in a code to get to it. So my little immature 13 watching Spice. Oh, I see people. It's squiggly lines. You can't see it because you can't get no access to it. Now these kids are seeing their mamas, Kim Kardashian, get dick down just by going to a certain website. It's just certain things that they know that they have in play, because if we're so distracted, we're not able to operate high vibrationally. Snapchat, we're not able. Huh?
X, Snapchat, X.
Yeah. All of it.
They poison your water. They put fluoride. They give you fluoride. They used to make us gurgle with fluoride when we was in school. They do all. They completely have destroyed your food system. Oh. Go somewhere and try to find a seeded watermelon or grape.
Oh man,
listen,
I haven't saw.
I just told that is so crazy. I just told Rayshawn today. I literally just told Rayshawn today, because I finally got a chance to start my garden a couple of days ago. Finally, because the weather here has been wild. And I said, I don't care. This year, I'm going to grow me some watermelon. I need watermelon in my life, because everywhere else that I go, the watermelon is ass. Like, it don't have no seeds in it. It's just not sweet. So I was like, this year, I'm focusing on making sure that I actually go through, because I've tried 3 times to grow watermelon and I fail every time. So I was like,
have y'all ever seen grapes with seeds yet? No grapes with seeds no more.
I ain't seen no grapes with seeds and I don't know how long. It's been a while, but I have an article that I was looking at earlier today. Like, honestly, for everybody out there, I apologize. We went completely off the top with this one, because like this has just been some things that's just been on my damn mind. I wanted to talk to my brothers about it, because I'm like, am I losing my mind, or are we losing our country right now? Like, is the shit getting handed over?
Nah, it's not getting handed over. If it's being handed over, it's us who are handing it over to them. When you got people like AOC going to all Muslim conferences with fucking a hijab on her head, looking absolutely ridiculous. That's the kind of shit that's happening. If we want to be for real, we got to call out the real enemy who's acting like our friend, coming to us saying that they need help, and then we extend that olive branch to help them. And then next thing I know, it's fucking 48 mosques everywhere I turn around. Yes. So we gotta understand it, the real problem here, ladies and gentlemen. It is a group of people who are coming into our country right now from the third world, who are actively trying to take our country over right from us, using our own laws, using our own humanity, using our own good nature against us.
And we fighting each other.
Never allow these people into our country. All you need to do is look at Europe right now. Look at the civil unrest that's happening in the UK right now with a certain group of people. They went from being the UK being how it was. You can call it lily white or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The number one name for babies in that country right now is Muhammad. How the fuck does something like that happen? And you talking about how America don't feel like America. It ain't Donald Trump. It's not the Republicans. They're doing everything they can to try to help this country out. When you got the left constantly trying to get the government shut down, have TSA workers go for 44 and 54 days without ever getting a goddamn paycheck, and then come right out there and try to say, but Trump, he not voting on Congress. He don't have nothing to do with that shit. But That's the lies that get spun to everybody. And now you have the whole situation where the people who are actually creating the problem are actually selling you the solution. The same thing happened with C-19. The same exact people who, how it magically got out into the atmosphere, it was created and then intentionally released. And then, of course, magically within a year, when it takes 5 to 10 years for vaccines to properly go through what they have to go through, being vetted and all of that, research, the whole nine, seeing the after effects, the side effects, things of that nature. What the fuck is Project Warp Speed? They already had this shit. Because they knew that they was going to do what they was going to do. All I'm saying is we keep falling for the same shit. When are we going to wake up, bro?
Everybody just got to do their part.
Well, they already putting their people in their positions.
I watched the video. I watched the video a couple of days ago, and they were talking about what was going on in New Jersey, about the takeover in New Jersey and the Hispanic population, and how Jersey is one of the largest non-border states with Hispanics. So they were talking about the takeover, how they got a bunch of illegals in warehouses. I watched that video. I did my motherfucking part. I sent that video to ICE. I'm not playing. I'm not in New Jersey no more. I'm not. I moved. I haven't lived in Newark, New Jersey in 15 years. But when I get information like that, I'm telling. Because the fact of the matter is I understand we live in a time based on what happened in 2020. Most people don't want to work anymore. They're lazy. They want to stay home. They want to work from home. They want to get unemployed. However that shit was going in 20, they got used to that shit. And oh wow, that's crazy. Oh, I know they fucking with the live. They don't kick Shannon out. They fucking with the live.
Crazy work.
That they kicked the host out. Well, the thing about it is, if more people don't get involved to fix these problems that we have, we're gonna stay on this hamster wheel. That's the reason why. And anybody that knows me, they know I'm always going to do my part and I'm always going to talk my shit. Because if we don't, we already doomed. We got to deal with all these goddamn Agent Smiths out here. We got to deal with all these soulless motherfuckers. We got to deal with all these NPCs. And it takes a lot to not have that shit on you. I had to come to the conclusion when I come in the house every night, I had to take a bath. Not a shower. I literally have to come and take a bath to wash all this shit out of me. And I'm glad I'm not a fucking empath. If I was an empath, I'd be going crazy. But the shit gets heavy.
Shit, man, fool, shit ain't the same no more. Shit ain't the same no more.
I said the shit Twilight Zone 2026. That's what we living in.
So I know it's not me, right? I know I'm not the only one. And all everybody that's looking. But fool, I know fool about to agree with me. Fool, what's going on with time?
It speeds up and it slows down throughout the day. 1 minute you look up, it's moved. Like, mind you, I'm out here in the streets all day, every day doing Instacart, Uber, and Lyft. In one moment, it's moving normal pace. At any other moment, it's moving fast than a motherfucker. And you ask somebody who's at work, that shit is at a snail's pace. It's like they figured out how to move that shit the way they want to. She just sent me a message that the shit crashed.
So it's just us.
I mean, she gonna get back.
She gonna put it back in.
But
she gonna come back in.
She gonna have to. Hold up. Let me let her know that we still in here. What she dealing with? They are fucking with the live because one time on our podcast around the time of that coronavirus bullshit, we had a guest on who was in the Disinformation 12. I had to jump on and jump back off like 12 times. And they kept freezing alive. It was like, it was bad. But this is what they do, which shows that this topic is really touching a nerve. Because they don't want people talking about this shit because it opens up eyes. It opens up ears and it opens up motherfucking minds.
Look, my brother, just rephrase it. They don't want us to talk about this.
No, that's not true. That's the whole thing.
For real?
Nah, it's the reason why that's not true is because anybody speaking truth and unity, they shut down. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Anything talking about unity, they don't want to hear about. If you're not speaking in a monolithic tone, they're against you. That's why you have clown ass motherfuckers saying what he was saying about Mark. Like that didn't make any sense. You got 4 black people up here not arguing, and you come in calling somebody a coon, and you don't know Mark. That makes no sense.
None of us arguing. None of us not even like, oh, no.
I watched his live, and I guess somebody was talking about he probably even have a motherfucking black wife and all that other shit. He called his wife over. It's like, all right, motherfucker, now shut the fuck up. Like it's sad that we live in a time where your actions don't mean shit. They're only we got keyboard. All we doing is living in a time of keyboard gangsters. This shit's annoying to me because I don't play them games. I'm pretty sure, Mark, you saw that post I put up about that dude that threatened me twice, right? My man. Did he block me?
They never want to do that though.
No, but he blocked me. How you gonna
they never want to do that though.
me twice, and then you block me? You a bitch ass nigga. Fuck out of here.
That's just crazy. Oh Lord.
This shit.
Wow.
This shit is crazy because we move in a different time and a different code. Like, to be honest with you, and this is not a game, yo. If we crack, we doomed. If motherfuckers like us crack and Shannon, we're fucking doomed. Which is what they want.
It's my honest opinion that people like us is basically like the dam holding the water back.
Man, we rare, bro. We are rare.
We the dam holding the water back.
We the last.
Once we go, and that water and that flood water come, it's gonna be a wrap. And what a lot of people don't realize, that's what Donald Trump is for America. That's what Donald Trump is for America. The shit that they doing with Iran and the shit that we doing with Israel, that's politics for politics. We've been in bed with Israel long before Trump. We're gonna be in bed with them long after he's gone. That's just it is what it is.
The thing about what you just said is this. At least now more people can see it. Because the thing about Trump, this is the one thing nobody says about Trump, and they need to just mention it. Trump don't mind being the bad guy.
Nope, he don't.
He doesn't care. Like,
don't care.
he when he did that shit with Mondami's punk ass at the White House, go ahead and call me a fascist. It don't matter. When he said that shit, he fucked them up because they was like, oh shit, he fucked Mondami up because it fucks with their programming. He does not fucking care because he's always going to be him. He's a at least Trump is authentic. We know exactly.
Authentic.
That's why he wins.
Authentic.
Everybody else phony. That's
he
why
gonna go against the grain. He don't care who like him, who don't like him. He don't care about nothing.
And let me tell you right now, that's why they cheated Spencer Pratt, because he's baby Trump, and not from the standpoint that they're the same, because they're completely different guys, but from the standpoint of Spencer Pratt was the most authentic guy to hit the scene since Donald Trump. When it comes to just pure authenticity. And you look at this mail-in ballot bullshit with not a single mail-in ballot coming back for him after getting as much as snagging to the lead, jumping to the lead of the damn race. And you mean to tell me out of all of these mail-in ballots, not nobody voted for him? They voted for the woman who people set up a homeless encampment in front of her house to teach her a lesson. The lady who was talking about bike lanes and shit like that's who they voted for. Come on.
I don't know if you saw the numbers. The numbers were 34%, 30%, 22%. Since the mail-in ballots have come in, Karen Bass's numbers have dropped 3%. Spencer Pratt's numbers have dropped 9%. And her numbers have jumped up 17%. So you're going to say that the candidate who was out of the loop is getting the most votes? Why? It can only on
the mail-in ballot.
Yeah, that's my whole point. So the fact of the matter is, if you want to talk about trends, if they would have said the numbers were coming in even 33, 30, I could go with that. I could even go with Karen Bass getting more. You're going to say that the last place candidate is getting the most. What does she do differently to gain that shit? And it just makes them look bad. I just hope that the citizens of California do something. They got to do something because the election integrity is out the door after this shit. Like maybe they're doing this shit on purpose. By them doing this in California, it's going to destroy election integrity around the whole country. The whole country. Because everybody looking at shit like, what the fuck are we voting for if they could just do that shit? Everybody's going to be saying this. Everybody. Well, not the red in the blue states. The blue states going to be pissed. The blue states going to be saying this shit. So the voter turnout going to be horrendous in the motherfucking midterms, though. Numbers gonna be low as fuck. Watch. It's gonna
You
be
really
real
believe?
low
You
because
think-
nobody has voter confidence right now. Nobody. It's taxation without representation. Nobody talks about California being 40% Republican. 40. How you 40% Republican and this shit is happening? There she go.
Zero representation.
There you go. You coming back. You back. You back. You back.
You what they did to you is what they was doing when I told you we had Kevin Jenkins on. I know exact. I've seen the playbook. I already know.
Apple ain't shit. Y'all gonna make me update my damn laptop right in the middle.
Bullshit.
They telling me I need to charge my phone right now. My shit didn't drop. Look, y'all, I had a full charge. I made Blue. Brother Mark said, please charge all. I had a full charge, 90%. I'm at 19%.
This is the game, but having conversations like this matter. And I promise y'all, give it about 6 months. It's gonna be podcasts like this, shows like this, that's gonna be all over the net because motherfuckers like, oh shit. And it's gonna happen because there's too many people out here looking for authenticity. That's what's missing in the country.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that.
I don't think that they're gonna be doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying?
I said looking for.
You can imitate it, but you ain't gonna be able to do what we do here on the Really Clowns. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
I'm talking about our show gonna be everywhere.
But and I like how you see you think big, you thinking big. But what I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I guarantee you, in about a year, all of these people that's so all about politics and y'all ain't talking about nothing else, y'all gonna fall to the wayside. Y'all gonna fall to the wayside because then you're gonna start wondering why you're gonna like when you pay so much attention to just strictly politics and not paying attention to getting your own house in order. That's when you're gonna start being like, damn, you know what? I made a mistake. I regret my vote. I don't regret my vote. I voted to save America. And honestly, I feel like that regardless of how I might feel about some shit today, whatever's going on probably would have happened like that same day that motherfucker, the inauguration would have went down. It probably would have happened in a week's time. So I feel like right now, these shows and these episodes where we might not agree on everything, but we all are seeing things. This is my perspective on the things that I might see. This is Mark's perspective on the things that he may see. Fool's perspective, Red's perspective. Everybody is bringing context to the culture of America from their own perspectives. But at the same time, we all realize that we all individually got to get our houses in order, man. Because Trump ain't your God. Trump's not coming to save you. He's doing the best that he can from the position that he's in, but he got to answer to somebody else.
He's they motherfucking God the way they talk about him.
Man, listen,
Jesus.
The Trump arrangement is so powerful, it's so potent, and you just look at it and you shake your head because you can't even have a civil conversation with people because their hatred enrages them and they get so overly emotional and they get so charged up about a guy who doesn't even know you exist.
Did y'all see that?
That's the part about me that blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Did y'all see the post I put up with Nancy Pelosi saying we can put a D on a glass of water and people will vote for it? Did y'all see that shit?
Yeah, I saw that shit
because you're stupid.
No. I put that shit on Facebook. There was two people in particular immediately talking about Trump. I responded to every post they put. Your comment has nothing to do with the post. Your comment has nothing to do with the post. Your comment has nothing to do with the post. You're going to talk about Trump, but you're not talking about the disrespect that Nancy Pelosi gave to you and every single person who votes just like you. What the fuck? These people are, it's sad, yo.
Because it's easier to fool a person than to convince a person that they've been fooled. So it's easier for me to just do all of this dog and pony bullshit and convince you of a bunch of lies than it is for me to actually wake you up and tell you that you've been lied to. And ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, especially in Black America, we have been lied to. And now we wander around like lost puppies looking for somebody to help us out, looking for a lifeline. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to create the lifeline. If you want to see Black people do well, if you want to see people, improve in this country, and I'm talking about our people, we have to have these conversations about politics. When I have a conversation with you about politics or your politics or whoever's, right, that lets me know how intelligent you are as a person. That lets me know where you are, whether you're aware socially, whether you understand what's going on, the power dynamics, economics, the worldwide front, and how that matters and how we're being viewed and how they view our imagery that we disseminate to out everybody whenever we're putting out these images on social media. We don't understand that there is a bigger play, a much bigger picture at stake. And until we can realize that, we will always be bringing up the rear. I don't want Black people to always be dead last. It's hard being Black when you got a level of
We're not dead last though. The Native Americans are.
But I mean, I don't.
I'm just saying. I want to put that out there. Quit saying that we last, because we ain't. Damn it, we a step up.
But I don't. But the reason, I guess, the reason why I don't count the Native Americans is because we was here just like they was.
I count them. I count them too, because
all Black people. What I'm saying is, all Black people didn't get brought over here on slave ships. So if you are Black and you was in natively in America, does that make you a Native American?
No, we indigenous.
American.
That's all.
Huh?
Yeah.
But indigenous, doesn't that make you native to the area though?
Yeah.
By definition.
Yeah.
That would make us Native American. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm of the mindset. This is a conspiracy theory, I guess, but I'm of the mindset that America is the ancient land.
Me too.
From biblical times.
Yeah.
Like all of those ancient places they talk about in the Bible, the Nile and all of that. I believe that's right here in the United States of America.
This the promised land. Absolutely.
So we've been here for centuries. So while I believe that slaves were brought over and there was a slave trade and all that, I'm not denying that. I'm saying that all Black people weren't brought over here on slave ships. I'm saying that it's my theory that Black people were already here.
The crazy part about that from then to now is, why is America the only country that everybody wants to come to? I don't
because
see
it's the land of milk and honey.
I'm saying that because I don't see everybody wanting to go to Africa. I don't see everybody wanting to go to Europe. Everybody wants to come here, and it's for a fucking reason. They don't want to talk about that shit. And you got these clown ass motherfuckers saying whatever they saying. That's why, like
what if the land of Canaan is Canada?
When I say that shit hit me like a ton of bricks the other day, where I just wasn't. I was like, it was heavy on me. And yesterday, me playing golf, when I say needed that shit, and I was good, like I was all right. I needed that shit. I just hate that it's raining. I don't know how it is in Texas and fucking Indiana right now, but the skies have opened up.
Raining.
The skies have opened up here.
It's been raining, and I think that it may have been, and I don't know if it's just me, but it's been emotionally heavy, like the last few weeks. Honestly,
I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel.
Like if you're like me and you are you're sensitive to energy, to other people's energy, to the energy around you. I'm talking about me and the devil been like this, y'all. We've been fighting. I've been getting like my spiritual attack. Like we've been in this bitch pumping. But I know who I am. And I know that I can get through anything that is thrown my way because I believe in the God within myself and not the one that's in the clouds or people telling me to believe in. I know that I can pull myself out of any situation, and I know that I'm walking straight. And if you know that you're going towards something, the weather's been tripping lately. I got back into my gardening, which has been fulfilling. Yesterday we went walking. We met the most beautiful Black people yesterday. Just in my neighborhood that I walk around on a regular basis. I didn't even know there was that many Black folks that lived out in my neighborhood. And I'm talking about these are Black folks that look like they're doing well for themselves. They were very nice, very respectful. We had good conversation. It was what was needed. And we do this when we go other places. We went to a restaurant for Rayshawn's birthday. We were literally the only Black people in this restaurant. We were talking to everybody. Good conversation. So we need to get back to connecting with each other, America. We can't have certain conversations online anymore. We need to get in our neighborhoods and start connecting with our neighbors.
But
Start
what will be
talking
their
to each
incentive
other.
for them to want to talk to us, though?
You said what happened?
What will be their incentive for them to want to extend the olive branch of peace to us? Considering this, how things are right now, considering the current climate in this country.
Oh, I can't speak for anybody else because I don't have that problem. When I go it don't matter where I go, we have conversations with everybody.
Me too.
It's the same here. That's what she's saying is true, because it's just about the more we communicate with people, the more we can weed people out. Because then you'll just see. First off, it's gonna be the energy. If the energy's right, the energy's gonna be right or whatever.
Right.
And that's where the power comes in, because the powers that be, they don't want us communicating with each other. They don't want this shit, because that's why they took Fred Hampton out. Fred Hampton had everybody in his clique. He had everybody.
The original Rainbow Coalition.
Yes. That was some real shit.
All people. They want us divided. They want you to feel as if you go into an Asian shop, you gonna get shot, or you gonna get followed around the store. I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Black American, that ain't never happened to me. Not one time.
Man,
I've never went in any place to get my nails done, and I've gotten to a fight with the person that's doing my nails. I could walk into any store, and my man is the same way, and God blessed me with a man who's just as social as I am. We could go in any place, don't matter if we the only white people, only Black people there. It could be all white people. We gonna connect with everybody in that place. We walk in and we smile and we're respectful. How you doing? How's your day going? It's really all about how you carry yourself, Black people. If you walk into a restaurant or you walk into a facility with a badass attitude, they're going to automatically assume it's about to be a nigga moment. So they're going to treat you accordingly. When I walk around this neighborhood and we see people outside cutting their grass, I speak to them. Hey, how you doing, neighbor? We might have a short conversation. They don't know who I voted for. They don't care who I voted for. They don't care about my life story. They just like, oh, this was a nice woman who said, hey, how you doing? And they spoke back to me. We got to get back to that, because these labels is really keeping us away from each other. Me not talking to you because you're a liberal or you're a Democrat, and you not talking to me because I'm a conservative. Me not wanting to be friends with you because you white, and you not wanting to be friends with me because I'm Black. At the end of the day, if Armageddon was to come and the sky was to crack open, and we needed to look out for each other, are you going to care about taking water from me because I'm a Black person who's conservative? Or are you going to just accept it because I'm humane and I care about you surviving through this? Are you not going to save a baby because that baby is white and the person may have a red cap on? We got to get back to thinking like humans, because right now we're thinking like the evil motherfuckers that we're pointing out as being our leadership. We got to get back to getting organized as human beings, and we're probably gonna be the ones to save America. I don't think it's gonna be no politician. I'm gonna be 100 with you. We
already are. It's not a game.
It's not.
It's
not gonna be a politician to save America, because I feel like majority of them are paid and bought. They bought out.
Can I say this then? I don't think that America can be saved. I think things are going to get progressively worse. This has already been described in the Bible. Things are already starting to happen. Huh?
Which one?
Well, all of the Bibles have revelation in them, whether it's, the Ethiopian Bible, with the missing books or whatever the case, because that's another way that they lie to us. So I'm not saying that, but it's hard to look at what's going on right now and I see that, a lot of biblical prophecy is coming true, bro. I don't think that America is going to get better. I think that this is the best that we can hope for right around now. I really and truly in my heart of hearts believe that Donald Trump is the wall or the dam that's holding the water back. And once he's out of office, all hell is going to break loose. I truly in my heart of hearts believe that the Republicans that are in place right now are going to be overridden by the left and socialism. When you look at the way the economy is right now, everybody is clamoring for socialism. They want to turn this into Cuba. They're not looking at Cuba and seeing what happened to them and how their country fell off after they, took over this communist regime. They want communism because it's giving you the guise of everything free. We don't have to work. Everything free. We don't have to work. But then everything about America is going to slowly start to vanish. It's already happening now. Look at the music and the film industry. It's all trash. There's no good movies out anymore. There's no good music out. There's no good music out anymore, right? All of that shit is trash.
No more.
That's what I'm saying.
I watched Django the other day and thought that was the best shit ever. Hey. Well, look, y'all, we're going to get up out of here. Pooh said he got to bounce. I got to bounce. I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday. We just really went off the dome today. I apologize. I had some shit on my mind and I needed to get it off and move forward with my life. So we'll be back next Monday, same time, same place, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see you all next week. Make sure you all like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And we appreciate everybody that tuned in to the Realist Lounge where culture meets context. Thank you to our guest, Red. And if you all want to join the panel, we're open to anybody who wants to have a conversation with us. Whether you agree or disagree, please contact us at the Realist Lounge at gmail.com or DM any one of us. We're on all the social media sites. All right. We going out of here. Anybody got anything else to say before I end the stream?
Nah.
Nope.
Yeah, next week.
I got wine on chill, so I'm about to go sip my wine and sit on my porch and have a good evening. And I pray that you all have the same.
Oh, I want to say something. I want to say something.
What?
In all honesty, prayers up to the Anthony family and everything that they're dealing with right now. And also prayers up to the Metcalf family and RIP Austin Metcalf.
Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. See y'all next week. Peace. Play it.